May 15th, 2005, we're on the road again. The car is hitched to the trailer carefully, and our first stop is 29 Palms, where we stay in a nice RV park, play 9 holes of golf in 100+ heat. Then on to Laughlin, Nevada for a little gambling, and we took some of the old back roads, Route 66, to get there. After Laughlin, we drove on over to Williams, and we set up camp there for 2 or 3 days and visited the Grand Canyon. Now, this is the south rim of the Grand Canyon, and Dorothea has not been to the south rim in over 30 years. Ian and I were there about 8 or 9 years ago. The Grand Canyon is still impressive, still very deep. Dorothea and I did go up to Bright Angel Lodge and wander through the old hotel up there. The Grand Canyon itself is quite impressive.
One of the things I love on this trip is using the digital camera, because it really does take some fine photographs, and then running them through Photo Suite and doing an enhancement. The photos of the Grand Canyon is just superb. By the way, my wife just reminded me that we went up to Bright Angel Lodge and we had an ice cream cone. It's very important to know that we stopped at the Bright Angel Lodge so we could have an ice cream cone. Anyway, this is Desert View. I remember taking Dorothea's mother to Desert View probably 30 years ago. The beautiful, beautiful canyon.
Look, Johnny.
Now what is funny is in the background, one of the bad guys has been shot, and if he falls face down, he's going to fall face down into a pile of manure. So he has moved over to the left a little bit and is flopped down, and of course everybody just cracking up. It's quite funny.
Well, I'll call you back. Maybe. Well, not today, but let's get him up on the trail.
This is the Grand Canyon Railroad from Williams, Arizona to the Grand Canyon. It runs daily. It's about a 2-hour ride up there. It's a lot of fun. They have banjo players on board, cowboys on horseback hold the train up. A lot of entertainment. Ian and I did it several years ago. Anyway, Dorothea and I saw the Western show, and we stuck around to see the museum and then watched the train take off for the Grand Canyon. From Williams, Arizona, we headed north, went through petrified forest, and then up to a national park called Canyon de Chelly, and it's spelled C-H-E-L-L-Y, but it is pronounced Shea. And this is someplace new for us, and it's a quite remarkable canyon, sheer cliffs all around it. And the only way to get into the floor of the canyon is by a guided tour. You have to hire somebody from the Navajo tribe, since it is Navajo land. And there is one exception, and that is a trail that is about 2-mile round trip hike down a sheer cliff and to see the cliff dwellings. And of course my wife decided that that's what we had to do. We had to hike into the canyon.
Okay, we're on the edge of the rim at another overlook. I think this is called Junction Overlook. We'll walk up to the edge of the overlook and look down. White House Runs Trail. It's a 2-hour hike can't take any pets, but I'm going to take Dorothea anyway. And it says take water.
The trail is rather steep, it's rather narrow, downhill, only change about 500 feet in elevation, but a lot of switchbacks. It's quite a climb going down in. But let me tell you about the climb coming back out. I'll save that for later. But there's Miss Gimpy walking along and heading down the hillside.
Okay, we're down at the bottom of the canyon. I'm trying to get in as close as I can. But, let's see, I'll back this off thing here. And that's the ruins. Right there. The lower level. And then up above, we have the other ones.
This is from about 11:30.
Trees have a touch of pink on them. Now we have to walk all the way back up on the top of that hill. It's about 1.5 miles uphill.
So back up this narrow path, climbing these cliffs to get to the car. It's 90 degrees out. It gets so bad for Dorothea that she can only walk about 100 yards and stop and rest in the shade of a tree. About halfway up, we did find a bench where she was able to lay down for about 5 or 10 minutes. I did not know whether I was going to have to dial 911 or whether the cell phone would even work there. So it was nerve-wracking. She finally made it to the car. She was bright red in the face and had to lay down for a little bit in the back of the car. That's the last time I'm going to take her on an uphill climb in the middle of the heat. From Canyon de Chelly, we headed northeast through the edges of Monument Valley and finally into Four Corners, where Utah, New Mexico, Colorado, and Arizona all meet at one point. Took a few photographs. Some lovely flowers this time of the year. Remember, this is in late May. We've had a heavy rainfall. So alongside these highways, the fields are just full of flowers. Alright, we decided to stay in an RV park just outside the entrance of Mesa Verde, which is in the southwestern corner of Colorado, and made the usual tourist tour of the cliff dwellings and museums, and enjoyed ourselves. It was quite interesting. There, besides being in taking pictures of Cliff Palace, which is the most famous, there are several museums in and around Mesa Verde that are worth visiting. The next day we moved on to Durango, Colorado. So we visited several sites in Mesa Verde with the cliff dwellings. It was quite interesting. We had been here before. But you know, it's really interesting, the architecture that they did and the number of years ago that they did it, and the material they used to build it with. Quite fascinating. Anyway, it was a fun tour. Mesa Verde, we arrive in Durango, Colorado, getting ready for a train trip.
All right, we're in Durango at a called a Union RV park. Anyway, this is the railroad tracks, which is a narrow gauge, not the standard gauge of a regular railroad. It goes right through our park. Now, what I'm taking a picture of, actually, is the brown water out in the distance. There is the rest of the RV park, and it is flooded. They've had such a tremendous heat wave here that from the mountains has overflowed the river. Now the river is generally very, very clear, but in this case it is got all this runoff from it, so it's turned brown, and people are warned to stay off the river itself. Okay, this is going right through our campsite. This is what we're going to ride tomorrow.
Okay, now this is the train that we're scheduled to ride tomorrow. All-day trip, all the way to Silverton, Colorado, and back. Okay, we're getting ready to go, and the train engineer is ready, and the passenger is ready. Let's go.
Okay, we're off. 9 o'clock. We're leaving. The river is almost at flood stage. Bank to bank, just a couple of feet below the rail line. It'll be interesting if it rises anymore, whether they have to close this rail line down.
The distance we travel from Durango to Silverton is about 45 miles. We go into some very remote countryside, steep gorges. As you can see, the train is slowly climbing to higher elevations. We get away from the highway into sheer remote areas. The river is just ripping. It is just full flood. This train, by the way, was used in many westerns back in the 40s and the 50s. It was just a gorgeous remote area. Now, passing over the top of this trestle, the steam engine sprays a lot of steam out into the valley, and it creates a rainbow. I was not able to get a picture of the rainbow, but it is quite impressive. Now this is an old steam engine, so it does require water, so we have stopped at a water tank and are refilling the train engine. And we spent about 15-20 minutes at this location and then proceed on our way to Silverton.
Right down the edge of the water.
Okay, this is Silverton, Colorado, and it's 45 miles from Durango, and our stopping point for about 2 hours for lunch and wandering around the town. Now, Silverton is an old silver mining community, no longer mines silver, but a heavy tourist area. Interesting buildings, good food. We went into a restaurant called the Shady Lady, which apparently in past years was a betrothal. So there was some interesting photographs still on the wall. And the wonderful thing about digital photography is they show up really well. Anyway, we spent 2 hours eating, walking around, and I laid down on a bench in front of a store and took a nap. Now that's the height of luxury. We have now started our return trip from Silverton, Colorado back to Durango. And of course the train ride down the hill is quite interesting, quite picturesque. And boy, the waters in that river alongside of the train track is just ripping in places. Of course, remember I told you earlier that this is all at flood stage.
That usually does is cause rainbow.
Okay, we're coming up on the RV park that we're in, and I'm trying to get pictures of our travel trailer, where it was at. There it is. That has the little motor scooter on the back. And this was, I took pictures of the train going through this RV park earlier. Leaving Durango behind, we set off with our car and our travel trailer for some real insanity. We're driving to Rawlins, Wyoming. And to get there, we go past Silverton, the same place the train took us. But we're driving up and over 3 passes, 2 of them above 10,000 feet and 1 of them above 11,000 feet. Let me tell you, the car had its work cut out for it. Did a good job. Some places we did get down to 25 or 30 miles an hour, but it was good. Now, we got up and over these passes, but going down the other side. Oh, this is fascinating. This is a bird that I captured with a digital camera, and the bird was absolutely fascinated with the mirrors on a car. Now, it would try and chase the bird in the mirror. Got some good pictures of the bird, and it flew over to our car, and it was doing the same thing on the mirrors in our car. Anyway, we went up and over the top of these passes down the other side using low gear. Oh, and then we stopped and spent the night at Black Canyon and the Gunnison. This is a very picturesque park, not very large. Spent the night there. Pretty river.
Now this is a nest or a web or cocoon for small caterpillars. Now the birds will come down and attack this and kill it off, but the web or the nest will eventually kill off the bush.
Rawlins, Wyoming, where my wife, who is not the bedrock of mental health, decides that she wants to go through a state penitentiary. Now, state penitentiaries are not high on my favorite list of places to visit, but we did make a tour of the place. It did have some interesting history, especially had a lot of history about some of the residents of this place. Now look closely in this tree. There is an owl. I say again, there is an owl in that picture. Look close. Now, we did have to take a picture of the prime suspect here in the gas chamber. And oops, somebody took a picture of me in the gas chamber. Okay, we're on to Thermopolis. Now, life gets exciting. We drive through a snowstorm with 7,000 pounds of trailer on the back. Fortunately, the snow was melting on the pavement immediately, and we were only in the snowstorm for about 20 minutes. Another pretty bird. We continued to head north and spend a couple of nights in Cody, Wyoming. Now, Cody, Wyoming has a beautiful museum dedicated to Buffalo Bill, or Bill Cody. And the museum, we spent 2 hours the first day and went back the second day and spent another 4 hours. There was 5 wings to the museum, and my favorite one was where they had the artwork and the bronze work. They're just excellent collections by Remington and Sharp, etc. Beautiful. Now, Big Timber was just an overnight stop, but in the RV park, the deer just came down in droves, and Dorothea took these photographs right out the back window of our travel trailer. There was just all sorts of beautiful deer all over the RV park. Anaconda, Montana. Now, this is where the Anaconda mining companies were. Jack Nicklaus designed a golf course at Anaconda called Old Works Golf Course. It is built right in the middle of a copper mining shag heap. Just gorgeous golf courses. They put me in with a couple other golfers. Oh, that is a fox. I took a picture of a fox going across the fairways. Anyway, they put me in with a couple of the other golfers, both of them sophomores in high school, one with a 4 handicap, one with an 8 handicap. They could hit a ball further than I could see. But it was fun playing the golf course. Here's the two guys. They were great playing with. Deer Park, Washington, 20 miles north of downtown Spokane, at the Spokane RV Golf Resort. This is an RV resort built right on the edge of the golf course. We backed our trailer up to next to the 9th green. We stayed there for 6 weeks. By the way, that's a trophy that I won for second place with a team. That was a team trophy. Our trailer, these are 5 or 6 different sunsets that Dorothea took pictures of on different days right outside the front of our trailer. I mean, just gorgeous sunsets. Anyway, our trailer got hit by 3 golf balls during the 6 weeks we were there. I did find a total of 14 golf balls around the trailer during the time. Next year, if we stay there again, I'm going to find a different location, a little safer. Now, that was my means of transportation. By the way, my wife could not understand golfing in the rain. She just simply does not understand that.
Good picture.
This man is making lead bullets for the muskets. He's boiling lead, putting them into a cast, and making round musket balls.
There's a cutter on the right here, kind of like a wire cutter. Once just snip it off.
The color purple. Each year, Dorothea and I have a car game. That's a game that we play in the car. And each year we have to find, well, last year it was a yellow truck, a yellow motorcycle, a yellow bicycle, and a yellow whatever. Anyway, this year it was the color purple. But we took pictures of everything that was purple. Purple cars, purple tents, purple trucks, motorcycles. That's a ball on an antenna on an automobile. And we took a picture of a lady with a purple shirt on and a red hat with purple flowers. Oh, you name it. Each day we had to find a purple truck, a purple motorcycle, a purple bicycle, and a purple car. So anyway, these are our purple colors. By God, there's a purple golf cart. How nice. One of the reasons why Dorothea likes staying at Deer Park, even though it's a golf course, is the day trips that we take in and around Spokane. It seems like there's an endless places to go and endless places to see. This was up at a farm that was nearby, and we went up and picked our own strawberries, stopped in, and of course I had to take a picture of my Polish hot dog. We took a ride out into the wilderness and came across a serendipity golf course where it's bed and golf. I love the sign. On our travels up here, we came across a small town called Medellin, Washington. And this was the town that was used as the backdrop in The Postman with Kevin Costner. And so we walked the streets and took a picture because they actually released the movie in a small town theater some years ago. Yeah, that was the small town theater. Downtown Spokane, Washington. We took a walk along the river and through the park down there, and it was beautiful park. A little rainy that day, but the bears seem to be a theme for artists this year for contests creating these bears. Anyway, we had done this last year. We had some friends with us. We took down into Spokane. There's my wife and a white Berlin bear. Anyway, these statues are metal, and look closely, I'm in the middle of them running, and but somebody's done a magnificent job doing these statues in metal. Then on a day trip we went down to Coeur d'Alene, and I took a picture of a pontoon aircraft down near the Coeur d'Alene lake. We went out and visited the town, but of course I had to go out and take a look at the golf course. The golf course in Coeur d'Alene is world famous. It is also very expensive. It's about $225 for 18 holes of golf. Needless to say, I have champagne taste and a beer pocketbook. Indian Creek Golf Course, almost in downtown Spokane, Washington, built right on the edge of a canyon leading down to the Spokane River. It was gorgeous. My wife went with me and took pictures of wild turkey on the fairway and the marmots and birds. It was very, very pretty, very challenging, and a great deal of fun. Right in the middle of the heavy woods. You get off the fairway, you're in trouble. It's a 456-yard downhill drive. Dorothea and I decided on our travels in and around Spokane and Deer Park, we would take pictures of mailboxes. And that catfish up there is really a mailbox. So we just found different mailboxes along the small country roads that we drove, and we took pictures of mailboxes. Of course, driving around the countryside, there were just lots and lots of old barns. Some of them almost completely ruined, ill-kept. Of course, there's a lot of new ones, too. They just build brand new ones. They don't bother tearing the old ones down. Anyway, it was a lot of fun just taking pictures as we had these little day trips, and we would be on the road 3 and 4 days a week. We started up to Mount Spokane State Park and found this covered bridge, and we came across some flowers that reminded us of ice cream cones. They were very pretty and very plentiful. You know, this is just countryside that you don't get to see down in Southern California where the hills turn brown about 80% of the year. But just taking pictures of haystacks and going to farms and picking cherries, or just going out on these little day trips just made it a lot of fun. That's one of the reasons we stayed so close. By the way, look what a digital camera can do. Now that's a close-up of some sort of beetle, very colorful beetle, but it really does a good job taking pictures. We went to a street fair up in Chewelah. I found a place selling turkey drumsticks, smoked turkey drumsticks, so I just had to have one. I have never picked cherries in my life before, but now I can't say that anymore because we picked cherries, we picked strawberries, just had a good time. A little miniature horse. That is not a Shetland pony, it's a miniature horse. And look at the strawberries we picked. What fun. We went to the Spokane Arena and saw these beautiful white horses from Austria, and the show was just super. Great music, but great performance with just beautiful horses.
Springdale, Washington. Very tiny little town, maybe 10 buildings in the downtown area. Very agricultural, lots of ranches in the area, and they have a parade. And we drove over, only about 20 miles from Deer Park.
There you go. Can we see you burn rubber or anything? No, nothing like that. Got old Steve out there and his gang. I'm not sure who the rest of them are. But when they get down here, we're going to stop. And we'll have the national anthem sung. Here comes the motorcycle. This is why I never read anything. It takes me forever. Frank and Treva and the whole family. There's Kip. Came all the way down from Valdez. He's up there patching tankers, aren't you? No, okay. Kip's a school teacher. There's Kevin and Kip. All right, here's the Springdale Frontier Days Queen. The second weekend in May. Are you Dean and Cody? All right. Dean is the Springdale Frontier Days Rodeo Association's president, and Cody is the second. All right, thank you. Look who's on the back there. You know? This isn't Leduc and Fogel tractor, yes? Oh, I see. You're selling tractors. That's a New Holland, huh? What happened to the red? Could you make some scratches on the road for us, Tom? Kettle Falls royalty. Riding on believing in magic. You guys believe in magic? Well, I'd say so. Beauty. There he is. Wheeler Casino, the museum displays over 50 beautiful restored classic cars ranging from a 1895 Chicago to a 1971 Mustang. The museum is open from 9 to 5 Wednesday through Sunday. And this one also Rodeo royalty. Queen Kaylin Bass, is that right? And Princess Nicole Rhodes. We invite you to join us to come down, unlike the other town to the north. All right, thank you guys. Now Robert's right here from Springdale, and you guys got nice looking horses. All right, so I always wanted a job like that, but I'll pass. All right, let's see who's on this thing here. There's our principal, our fearless leader, Packanash Propane, our Matt. Matt just finished his first year at Mary Walker as principal. He really enjoys getting to know the students and parents of this district and looking forward to next year. He is happy to be in this area where he is surrounded by family and making new friends. Coming from the western side of the state, one of his biggest challenges was becoming a Washington Cougar fan. Thanks for floating on down, girls. They're riding on the river. All right, here comes our pride and joy now, the baseball team. All right, thank you, Jamie. Springdale Youth Baseball, sponsored by Cummings Trucking, Columbus Trucking. Okay, in Deer Park. Thank you. Down a little bit farther. We appreciate them being here. There's Ellen, always on the call. Leaving those lunches and cold for us. And out saying the world.
It's really good for candy.
All right.
That's fun.
And our last, there you go. Get her up here, Bob.
Oh, that's what candy too.
Bob's with the fire department. All right, there's old Nick Smith right there. All right, driving the blue one. Now I know which one you're driving.
Throwing candy out for the kids.
All right, these logs were cut out of Hunter's Road and will be called the Springdale Lumber. Nick Smith is driving.
Okay, after the parade, we went out to the rodeo, found ourselves some nice bleacher seats, and watched everybody get prepared for the horseback riding.
This was the queen of the rodeo. Everybody was working their horses out, and they're taking their kids right out there on the field. But then I was amazed at how the digital camera, by the way, they're doing the Star Spangled Banner here, how the digital camera would capture the action pictures so well. I mean, they were really good. Also, we got to sit next to the mother of the rodeo queen and look at the spurs. And we got to see how a real rodeo is good. It was so much fun. It was better than the Orange County Fairgrounds rodeo.
Well, we're at the rodeo. It doesn't start for an hour. Looks like they're working on getting the grounds ready. Oh, look at this.
I like that horse. Oh, it's gorgeous.
The Lonesome Dove Saloon, advertised here at the rodeo. That's a little girl on a big horse.
She's the daughter of Anita and Tom Best, and she really thinks that she wants to have all of you guys here experience what? She's a rider. She's a competitor, and she's right here in your own neighborhood. Countries of the world. An opportunity for us to realize that freedom really isn't free. You know, a lot of times we think it's the government that provides our freedom, but today, folks, there are young men and women in harm's way. A lot of parents not able to enjoy the day like we are.
The hat on the back of the two horses represents fallen comrades, a tribute to the military.
Bucking sponsor. Come on, BJ, let's make some money. Take it back to Spokane. No stage fried on
This horse, on 3 separate occasions, just absolutely refused to come out of the cage and buck. I finally had to.
Yellow Falls down here. Yeah, let's let Gotham go. Straight up here. Let's see the cowboy can't keep the judge. No doubles off the side. Comes across and looks good right now. Now an opportunity to put one around the headlight. Have the head now. The calf has to be clean. Stands up. Hand toss the brow, he grabs his right leg. Now it's time to string. Missed string on the pig and string, no such luck. Now he's going to wrap twice. Around the handle, pulls the pants, hands in the air. Yeah, that's the way Mr. Honk will go to work right now. Hard running calf out in front. Did it fish on? No. Looks like it was tied on there right now. We'll see if the Espanola Cowboy can do it 2 times in a row. Yeah, I think he's got one around it right now. Yeah, he's a little bit down the arena, but this cowboy's got good fast hands. When he gets on the ground, it's time to go to work. Yeah, a little deep in the field. He knows he's not going to do that. That's tonight's great dance and stuff going on. But if you want to go home anytime, there we go. Another one caught around with a great time. Let's see how the cowboy goes to work on the ground. Bubba's calf wants to come back the line, and you'll see now how the cowboy kind of stations him. The pony works the rope to keep it tight. Strings the front one now. Scoops 2 in the back. Fast hands in the field. Let's see what the cowboy can do. Nod his head right now. I'll tell you what looks good right here. Hard breaking red calf or all the headlights, but that's not going to stick.
Well, all good things must come to an end. We left Washington on the 17th of
July, we allowed ourselves 14 days coming home. We ended up doing it in 8. We ended up on the June Lake Loop, and the rivers and the lakes were just full. Just a tremendous snowpack up there this year. Caught a lot of fish. Just got back in the old trailer and then just cruised on home. Tired but happy. And the wife wants to go back to Deer Park next year for 2 months, and who am I to argue with that?